if we select to work with you the way we've done this with each other coming up, we are with you until you are on.
Absolutely. I think that's like what Jim and Malcolm have given me, right? It's they can teach you how to put together a series Bible. You can invite you into other rooms. But I think I most benefited from the fact that I know I have the ongoing support, ongoing correction, guidance, all the things that you need to actually really make it and be able to sustain that over time.
Everyone, for our final interview of the day. I really appreciate everybody being here. We've gotten such great feedback. I'm glad you love the guests. And we again will see Emil and Malcolm, Emil Pinnock and Malcolm Spellman. And joining them will be Jimmy Chris. So the three of them together make up Genius in the Hood. So I look forward to sharing their information with you. So Genius in the Hood is a name created by Jimmy Chris, which is the third person that we're going to introduce or meet in our trio. And it's a nonprofit organization founded by Jimmy Chris, Malcolm Spellman, and Emil Pinnock. The organization exists to provide opportunities, which is education, mentorship, and access to exceptionally gifted individuals or geniuses from marginalized communities, or the Hood, thus the name. So why look for talent from the Hood? While the Hood is often considered a place marked by limitations, barriers, ceilings, and lack of opportunity, growing up in the Hood cultivates originality, authenticity, and at Cultures we speak about being fully, authentically you, perspective, invisible capital, professional hunger, and a survival aptitude that, when coupled with creative genius, produces the alchemy needed to not only succeed, but thrive in Hollywood. Our founders are successful examples of what's produced from the Hood, if only given opportunity. What makes our program unique, or their program unique? Many programs seek to address the lack of diversity, equity, and inclusion in Hollywood by creating pathways for identity, for gender, and ethnic representation. Genius in the Hood aggressively mimes, recruits, and trains purple elephants. That would be unconventional, exceptionally talented, and gifted storytellers from the literal and figurative Hood with no respect to class, formal education, or access. Major points to consider is all three founders have a history of being incarcerated. Jimmy created a television series, Hip Hop Uncovered, and we spoke about that earlier. And Malcolm has, or actually we didn't speak about Jimmy, we spoke about Malcolm, but Malcolm has a popular saying, "There's more of us." And he'll talk a little bit more about that later. How exactly will Genius in the Hood provide education, access, and industry? We'll talk about that as well. So let's welcome our three geniuses in the Hood. Jimmy Chris, Malcolm Spellman, and Emil Pinnock. You can give him a little more love than that. Come on, it could be louder. Okay. Hello, you three. How are you?
I'm good.
Hello,
Jim.
everybody.
Yep.
Thanks for being back with us. Jimmy, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too. Thank you.
Since we've spoken to Malcolm, we've spoken to Emil, let's start with you and tell us a little bit about your background and how you met these two.
Well, I grew up in Compton, went to school in Compton, met Malcolm, 30 plus years ago. Malcolm. About 30 plus years.
Where'd you meet me, Jim? It wasn't nowhere you want to talk about.
That's the Hood part.
That's probably why I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, moving on to we we've done numerous things together, So, but most recently it was Hip Hop Uncovered, and now we're doing Genius in the Hood along with Emil and the Elysian Giants. So
Jimmy is shy.
I see that, Jimmy. We've been waiting for you all day. Come on, man.
I'm a man of less worries. I like to stay behind. I like to stay behind the scenes.
Well, I know. So Emil told us his story about being incarcerated. Do you mind sharing yours as well?
Tell him, Jim. Hey, this will be a first. You just go wrong.
I did wrong, got caught.
Yo, stop.
Word.
A little different than Emil.
Which?
I did wrong.
Oh,
Got caught.
I would say back south. Yeah, I got caught up in Alabama, and I got 6 years, served my time, came home.
Stayed out, bro.
Yep, and been out ever since. I've been convicted one time. I don't have a big history of, in and out of prison, so I never adapted to prison life. So I like freedom. So I learned my lesson at one time. Been out ever since, and the rest is the past, and the future is all I live for now.
So how did this inspire Hip Hop Uncovered? And how did it shape you forming Genius in the Hood as well?
When I came home, it started from something called U-Turn. From U-Turn, it turned to Hip Hop Uncovered. From U-Turn was pretty much based on guys behind the scenes, guys that turn their life around, and another friend of mine named Jai Hassan Robles. He was kind of the ones that kind of inspired me to get into the music business, and he was also one of the ones that got caught up in the hip hop beef between New York and L.A. with Death Row and Bad Boy. He once he lost his life behind that with the music thing, I kind of stepped away from the music and start going more towards film, and that was what made me want to do Hip Hop Uncovered with Malcolm Spellman here. So we turned U-Turn into Hip Hop Uncovered.
Well, Malcolm told us before. Oh, go ahead, Emil.
Yeah, I wanna real fast, because I know Uncle Jim and said that he's a man of less words, but also like coming from Compton, like when he says that he got in trouble that one time, there's this theory of like reentry, and like how people can't stay out, right? And so there's a model of like that second chance that we want to offer the geniuses in the hood, that he proves that that's a possibility, right? He comes out of 6 years in federal time and is able not only to not re-enter to re-enter the system, but also at the same time he's able to go and go back to his community. So he just went back to work and to serve the kids in Compton College for several years, and just recently retired about a year ago from the same community that he was in growing up in, a rough community, but was able to go back with intention, like through family resources and from urging from the community to have someone like him in that community. He went back there to work in that community. Had a lot of other opportunities to work other places, but wanted to make sure that he served in a place that he was from and make some impact there. About 3 weeks ago, he put together a giveaway with WCLC from Watts Community to give 400 gift cards, for supermarket gift cards for families that have food at Compton College. We gave away 400 $600 gift cards in his same community after he retired from that college to go back into that actual community. So I just want to point out that work, because that's the stuff that Genius in the Hood is even doing outside of film, and that's really all led by his spirit and love for his community and the communities that we actually come from as well.
And that leads perfectly into my next question, because Jimmy, I was going to say that Malcolm, he talked about there's more of us. So showing that successful people, especially successful people in Hollywood and elsewhere, you're not anomalies. And I know that he has given to you, he's helped you get where you are. And isn't that part of why you formed Genius in the Hood, so you can give back to others? Tell us about that.
Correct. Yeah. And also too, I got a second chance, and third chance, really, to
Yeah.
kind of, keep my life straight and turn my life around. And I have kids. I have a lot of friends that have kids that, that look up to me for other reasons that I choose, not to have them, step into those, those shadows are the mistakes that I stepped into. So as much opportunity as I can give to them, that's been given to me and others, I try to return, that back, 10 times fold or more, to people around me that I've seen that hasn't had a second chance or some of the opportunities that I've had. I've been around a lot, as far as like the music and film. So if others kind of can have the same opportunity, that I've had, I know that it's like I say, it's a lot more of us that that will prevail and stay out the neighborhood, kind of stay out of prison, and away from trouble, So as much as I can, and many doors I can open to provide to somebody else, I'm always trying to do that.
So give us some examples of the kind of education and access that you give into, is it to both industries, music and film, or mostly film?
We're focused on film now. So Emil, I'm a pretty good talker. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm strongest when I'm actually talking about creative. For this, Emil is sort of he got a colder mouth. He can do this better than us.
Well, I guess that was the alley hoop. The alley hoop.
Emil, come on now, come on.
I'll grab it. Yeah, I mean, to answer your question, Donnie, yeah, absolutely. We're given our background and the success like that we've achieved at our highest level of success. We're gonna start with film. And we're like with any organization, you have like your core focus, but you also have a vision of how we're going to grow this. Entering in our first year, absolutely, we're going to start with filmmakers and storytellers. However, we've already began from the inception of the organization to start to think about how do we incorporate music. We have a lot of relationships there. We talked about art, and we even talked about technology. You can't tackle everything at the same time. So we're hoping that the success with the film introduction lands exactly where we want to land it, successfully, and then that opens up other doors to do that. So no in the immediate, but yes in the long term.
Now, so Cultures has worked quite a bit with Sundance Labs. A number of our reps in the room have been to Sundance with me, and we've done a lot of work with them. And I know that your organization rivals what they do in terms of giving back and what it gives to students for filmmaking. So tell us a little bit more about things that you do that rival Sundance, which is a big name, and yours is up and coming.
Can I jump in first, Emil? Because
of course,
we got to give Sundance a lot of props. We've worked with them a lot, and I think one of the most revolutionary things they do that surpasses USC or any other film programs, even the more like ghetto film school and some of the ones that are more social programs, is Sundance commits to their to their entrance. You know what I'm saying? Like if you are in the Sundance program, they're sticking with you until you have a career. In fact, it is through us working with the Sundance people that we found out. They said on average, it takes a Sundance entrant about 5 years of sustained support before their career even begins after they leave the program, right? And having access to that has been very important. So I'd say before Emil gets technical, the number one thing that may sound hella simple or obvious to y'all that very few people do, that we sort of took from Sundance is if we select to work with you the way we've done this with each other coming up, we are with you until you are on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. I was going to try to, you said it better than me, but that was really where I was going to start is the support. I think that's like what Jim and Malcolm have given me, right? It's, yeah, you can teach you how to put together a series Bible. We can invite you into other rooms. But I think I most benefited from the fact that I know I have the ongoing support, ongoing correction, guidance, you know, all the things that you need to actually really make it and be able to sustain that over time. You know, there's these mentorship things where you can have a few conversations, and I know that that's beneficial because anybody can be inspired in any amount of time, but to really, you know, take someone from the beginning to some actual success is going to take some time. And so, like, you know, Malcolm stated that. I think that the second thing I would say is like how we mine for talent, right? So we're not going to, I don't have a high school diploma. When I came to Malcolm, I had just done up north that I mentioned to you guys earlier. I didn't know how to put together a series Bible, and I was really green in that particular area, but like he saw genius in me. So when we mine for talent, we are not necessarily looking for people, or probably not looking at all for people that have any particular college degrees. Like we're looking for the dude in the local barbershop. If you know, for the people that understand that, right? Like the barbershop is like one of the most important places of a community who has everybody laughing to the point where you got guys who go to the barbershop and story tell, and people go sit there when they don't even get a haircut, right? Because they would rather like listen to this dude story tell more than they would the most popular show on television, right? We want that guy to get an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that we know what it looks like and that we came from it, and the fact that we're not scared to trust it when we see it, and to connect with those people, whether or not they have the experience or the vocabulary or all the things that everyone has, that checklist that people go, are you worthy of that? We've thrown that out, and we're using our instincts and our experience to actually mine for talent. I think that's the thing that we're most excited about.
Wow. Tell me about some of the, have you had graduates of your program, or are you still working with some of your original students to give them the support they need after they get the information?
So what we've done with Unleashing Giants right now, we've worked with some students through our Lights Camera Future program that started at elementary all the way through high school, right? So that's through the Unleashing Giants program, Lights Camera Future, which is the 8-week program that educates students on how to write, direct, and produce. And that process being repeated successfully over 60 times has now led us to the point where we're doing Genius in the Hood, which is our professional development program, right? So it's not for kids, it is for those entering the actual industry looking for their career. So starting top of 2025 is our first program. At this moment right now, we're like putting together not only the organization, but we're going through this process of like minding for that talent. Speaking to you as a part of that process today, because like what we want to do is we want to get the word out. We want it to be in Cultures Magazine. We want it to be with all of you guys that are here today, because I see a few people nodding their heads. If you're thinking of a genius right now that you think that would be further and that their career would be along if they had someone like Malcolm Spellman or Jimmy Chris and you know, backing them. I see a few hands raised. So we're getting it out, and we're not getting it out through the New York Post or places that people won't look. We're talking to you guys, and that's why we're taking the time to have these conversations. We want to get in the streets. We want to be in the barbershop. We want to be in the schools, right? Like that teacher that knows that kid is a genius, but he just keeps getting suspended and won't do homework. But she really knows that if she takes the time to speak to him after school, she sees a different kid that ever sat in that class. We want that teacher to actually holler at us. So we're going to the people. And so all these conversations that we're having right now is really wanting to talk to the people so that you guys can respond to us, so we can launch 2025 and have a successful initial program.
Do you have a goal of how
Emil,
many?
that was super on point. Thank you. Like that was it right there.
Okay, we will make sure to include that in the article. So, do you have a goal of how many people do you want to help this year? Or let me start with how many people have you helped or kids have you helped so far? And then what's your goal for the next year and the coming years?
Through the Unleashing Giants program, we've done 60 successful films right now, and there's usually between like 25 to 35, depending on the number of students in the class that it is. So we served a few thousand students. We're looking to expand that into different school districts. So we just started to collaborate with WCLC and Watts, and so there's a partnership there that we're looking to establish. We're expanding to other cities and different things as well. So with the students, you know, we just want to get as many students in the class as possible. One of the first questions that our learning facilitator, who is the lead teacher in our classroom, asks the students when they go into class is like, how many of you guys know what a cinematographer is? And it breaks my heart that less than 98% of the people like ever have an answer. They don't even know what a cinematographer is, right? They don't even, so how could you even apply or look for information on something that you don't even know exists? And so I can go on and on about all the other positions, because if you don't know cinematography, which is like, you know, the camera work, I mean, that's like one of the basics. Like once you go down, like they don't understand that. But there are people, friends that I know who handle craft services who are millionaires because they understand like, hey, I could build this craft service business and filmmaking and expand my business and do this, but they know that that's available. There's people who make a crazy living being gardeners in film or stunts and things that like our people would never actually really know of. And so we just want to bring that information. The fact that, you know, students are enlightened to be like, wow, I know that that's there is really the first level of our success of just like educating these students of like what the possibilities are. Because if you don't know the possibilities, there's no way you can believe or have faith or look forward to what's actually going to come. With Genius in the Hood, we're starting with 10. We're selecting 10 people. And, you know, once again, like we're not doing 50, 60, so we can say we serve, the number isn't important to us, it's the impact. So if we can take 10 people and we can have authentic relationship with them and like that projected 5-year journey is, you know, what we have enough bandwidth to do, like we want to do that. Like it's the immediate, it's the direct impact that we're going to judge our success on, not necessarily the number of people who come through our program.
Well, I love that. And the 5 year journey is such an important thing because even in college, I mean, people talk about going to school and then you get out, but you don't have the tools you need. You don't have that mentorship. You don't have someone behind you making sure that you can be successful. And this does that for not only kids, but undeserving or undeserved communities or underserved. I don't know why I'm saying that backwards. Underserved communities. The other thing, I know you and I talked about cultures actually being a part of this as well in the media space, in the writing space. And I really look forward to when we talk more about that and doing that. And actually, in the audience today, we have, I don't know if he's going to, how he's going to feel about me calling him out, but we have Deshaun Brown from POC Stock, which is a people of color stock photography agency, and they're in LA. So that might be just another perfect arm to work with you and do some more fantastic work to show kids the careers they could have, to have actual impact, and actually have work that's published and out there. So he's nodding his head yes. So we'll have to talk to you about that. So is there anything I haven't asked you all that you think people should know?
I think, again, just to reiterate what Emil said way at the top, because everyone looks for ways to differentiate these programs, right? Because this program is started by people who lived it directly, means that it operates from the selection process in a completely different way, which is, again, I can't say it as well as Emil, but I think it is one of the most unique things, which is our access and connection to these communities means we, the founders of the program, are the ones who are handpicking the people that remind us of us. It isn't a litmus test up there or anything you can even apply for. And that can't be done by none of these other programs because they're not connected to the communities in the same way.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you. Jimmy, go ahead, Emil.
Yeah, I was just gonna say like, man, you can't overstate like the impact that like with Malcolm, when I first met him and him being like, hey, like sit in a room with me, right? If you guys know anything about television, I'll try to be quick with this one. But if you know anything about television, it starts with the pilot episode, right? And so the pilot episode is the first episode, but it's also the introductory, right? It's introducing you to the series and the possibilities of like what this series could be and where these characters can go. And so, you know, as television creators, we view me as like the pilot of the Genius in the Hood organization. And so I'm still within my first 5 years. So even though I sit here having sold television shows, I've done speaking tours, you know, national speaking tours, have had an overall deal, a first look deal with Blumhouse, different things. I'm still in process, which is a beautiful thing. I don't say that to take any credit away from me, but like I haven't arrived. And like my two co-founders with Genius in the Hood, you know, we're always talking about like, so what's the next step for you? There was a deal recently that I brought to Malcolm. Hey, look, this is where I'm at with this situation. How can you help move this forward? How can you help me with the writing process? This is after things sold. This is after, you know, initial success that I've actually had. So we're still in the pilot process with me. And I'm excited about where I'm going. And we decided to start the organization while we're in process, because what better way than to say, okay, let's do this now while we have you coming through this pipeline. So now you can go do that, right? Like one of our models, each one teach one. So what they're doing to me, you know, we don't have to wait to like, oh, well, this is a proven thing. Like as we're getting the success, let's go. And we're going to do that with the next group. And so there's like a connecting tissue that not only we're going to have with the applicants, but that we want the applicants to have with the next group that's coming behind us. And that's really what we want to form, is that community.
Awesome. Jimmy, I know you're a man of few words, but take us home.
The gentleman said here, you know, we definitely look for people that we're used to seeing that hasn't had the opportunity, you know, to go, you know, out the neighborhood really, you know, as far as I could take some people that's been living in California all their life that never been to the beach, you know, and that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
But, you know, so we're trying to, you know, open doors and give everybody opportunity that we've had, and you know, that's our plan, you know. So.
Well, thank you so much. I love the work that you're doing professionally
Good,
and
Jimmy.
philanthropically. I wasn't gonna, Jimmy. I thought
Hey, in Hip Hop Uncovered, Jim made us take out almost every scene he was in.
Well, you don't get that opportunity here, Jimmy. We're gonna showcase you and highlight you. This is your thing. I wasn't gonna let you off the hook. So thanks to the three of you. I look forward to seeing you in person soon. I will connect you with Deshaun from Pockstock, and you and I will be speaking again, Emil. And thanks again. It was wonderful to see you.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for being a member of our community and for listening to the Destinations podcast. I want to ask you a favor. So many of you love our content, and we want to feel your love as well. So please do us a favor, subscribe. There's so many that listen but don't necessarily subscribe to the channel. Do that, whether it's in audio on wherever you listen to podcasts, or on video on YouTube. Make sure you smash that button, subscribe, and become a member of our community today so you can support the work we do. Thank you.